Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pixel Geek Smackdown. This is your host, Mike, and his co-host, Danny. Say hi, Danny.
Hello.
Hopefully, all are doing great. So far, it's been good. It's been exciting. We're ready to get killed on the internet. We're ranking the Star Wars movies, all of them, including the CGI movie. We're ranking them from best to worst and giving them 0 out of 5 stars. Pretty much, just FYI. This is our opinions. This is our list. Do not come after us with pitchforks and the torches. It's okay if you disagree. I'm not. Pretty much what we're gonna do is we're gonna say like why we picked it in this spot and then why we gave it this star. So at least you can see the logic behind our choices. Whether or not you agree with it is irrelevant. You can agree, you can disagree. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But
Get ready for Mike's long rants.
yeah, I'm gonna do my best not to rant, but I promise nothing, because there's definitely a couple in here that I will actively get upsetty spaghetti about. But without further ado, Danny, what's your worst quote unquote Star Wars movie, and what star did you give it and why?
Okay, my first one is Solo.
Okay.
I remember going to the theater to watch this. I only watched it this one time, and I remember hating it after I walked out of the theater, and I was the only person in the theater watching this movie.
Mm.
But to be fair, it was during the week, and it was like one of the first showings of the day, so that's probably why.
That's true.
I give it a 1 out of 5.
A 1 out of 5. Ooh. All right. Any particular thing that jumped out at you that was at least like a saving grace or anything?
Nothing. Like I can't. Like I've only seen it once. I can't think of anything that I really liked of it. Like with all the other movies, there's like something that I at least liked out of it. But this one, I can't think of anything.
Yeah, it's hard because I was like, as we are going through like the rankings and doing the stars, I was trying to think what is some positivity that I can put, like, even though I don't like the movie, like I want to at least say something nice about it relative, if that makes sense. Is there anything else you wanted to add to Solo?
No, that's all I wanted to say.
Uh I mean, I give Solo a 1 out of 5 as well. It's nothing against the main actor. I actually think Donald Glover did decently well as Lando. I wasn't upset with him. It was just like, I think they're trying to make it a comedy, but then they're like, oh, this is Star Wars, and then it was just like all over the place. It was just a mess, like plot wise. Some of the visuals were cool, like when they're traveling like through the wormhole or something. It was like right when they're doing the Kessel Run. Like visually, it looked pretty, but that was it. I don't really have anything. It's boring. I didn't really like any of the characters. The main villain was meh. The plot twist or whatever was eh. Darth Maul coming back at the very end was kind of cool, but
Too bad they never did anything with that after.
yeah, because I mean, I don't know if you've watched the cartoons. Like, I don't know if you watched like Rebels or what's the other one? The Clone Wars cartoon show and stuff like that.
I only watched like the one from like what was it during the episode before episode 3? I want to say.
Oh, the Jenny Travarsky cartoon ones?
Yeah, the one was on Cartoon Network. It was only a couple like what was it, like 10 minutes per episode or some shit like that.
Yeah.
That's the only cartoon that I watched.
The reason I say that is because Darth Maul does come back both in the CGI one and in the Rebels. He dies in Rebels, but yeah, I could go on Star Wars rants, but that it pretty much was just me not having a good time. And before we move on to number 11, we've talked about this before, but I want it on record. What is your opinion on spoilers?
It doesn't bother me. Like these movies are like old.
Yeah.
It's not like if we were shooting this like and the last Star Wars movie came out like 3 months ago. Okay, I would say spoilers.
Yeah, he'd be like, hold on, time out.
Because I would say at least 3 months to watch it.
I'd give them a year. If you haven't actively tried to do something in a year, you're probably not going to do it anyway. So
yeah,
I mean, I think episode Return of the Jedi just celebrated its like 40th anniversary last year. So did you know, and this is going to make you feel really old, Phantom Menace came out 25 years ago this year?
Know what's thing?
What?
The Phantom Menace might have been my first Star Wars movie.
I mean, I'll get to that, but that's
Well,
understandable.
because I don't remember if I saw Phantom Menace first or got the original trilogy on VHS.
Right.
Because remember they did like a box set.
Yeah. So they had the
'Cause I
original.
don't remember if I saw that movie for Phantom Menace first, or I got the tapes first.
When it came to VHS, I want to say this for later, but I'll just say it now. I grew up when we had the original the black boxes that came
Mhm.
out in like the late 80s, where they had, it said A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. And then I was 7 when they released the gold box for their 20th anniversary, where they did the special editions where George Lucas changed a bunch of shit.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, that too.
I remember sitting out in the living room watching it when I was 7. So I was like, I was prime age demographic for it. And then 2 years later, the Phantom Menace came out. So
Yeah, I just don't remember for me because I remember I got it in elementary school for like a Christmas present. And I just don't remember if it was before Phantom Menace or after Phantom Menace.
I don't
But
go on.
no, that's all I had to say.
Oh, all right. So what's your number 11?
The Clone Wars,
Ooh, the CGI one.
the CGI one,
Okay.
because it wasn't what I was expecting. It wasn't like CGI was kind of like not my thing at the time.
Right.
Like, because I think we saw it together.
Yeah, we
I
did.
think we saw it at the theater.
We did. Yeah, and it
And
was late.
yeah, I was like, I didn't know what to expect. I liked it, but I think I've only seen it like 2 times after.
I'm gonna be.
It's not Star Wars movies I go back and watch.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean,
Because we're doing this list, I messaged you. I'm like, are we gonna put this movie on the list?
yeah, and I was like, yep, it's a Star Wars movie.
Because it's one of those Star Wars movies like you forget that it is a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, because I mean, I will say that it inspired a TV show, which was really good for the first like 3 seasons, 3 or 4, and then I teetered off. And then we don't talk about the final season because I actually get frustrated with that final season that came back. Man,
I know the series, so I cannot comment.
the first couple seasons were good, and I mean, I like the Ahsoka character, and I like it showing us, more of Obi-Wan and Anakin's camaraderie, and then Anakin being forced into like the leadership role, and the teacher, Mr. Emotions, and like I like that aspect of it. But I mean, I could have done without the saving the hut subplot and everything. That was
Mm-hmm. Oh, and another thing too is before we continue is I haven't seen anything from Disney Plus, any of those series.
they're good. Well, let me rephrase. I watched Obi-Wan. That was a great series. I watched the first season of Mandalorian. I haven't watched any of the others. I didn't watch Boba Fett. I haven't watched Andor yet. I've watched some of Ahsoka. There's too much. I feel like Star Wars is slowly becoming the Marvel, but that's a different topic. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's becoming so bloated that it's all over the place.
But like, there's just too much.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about wrestling sometimes. Is there's just too many shows, too many matches to keep up with of what's going on. I miss the old days when it was like one episode a week.
Yeah, maybe that's just us and we're older and we have responsibilities to do now.
Maybe.
But like I just feel like there's so much like bloatness happening that it's just like, okay, I have to watch these movies, they're 3 hours each, then I have to watch this 10 to 12 episode series that's an hour a piece, and it's like I don't have time for that.
But would you rather have a series or a movie?
If I could get the series to have the same budget as the movie, I'm gonna go series all the way.
Okay.
What about you?
It's a little of both. Like sometimes I wanted this to be a movie, and then like sometimes I'm like, okay, you could just made a TV show out of this and just expanded the characters and expanded the storyline.
Well,
So
I
I'm
mean,
a little.
go on. I was just gonna say, I mean, it's just like I know that you don't really care, but they're airing the Percy Jackson series on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
They've
I like it. And is an Edge on that?
Yes, he's the God of War.
That's why I'm like, he's a wrestler, so I should be watching it to support wrestling.
It's fun. If you've read the books, they've changed very minutely, like changed some of it, and they've expanded a little bit, which I'm cool with. I see why they made the changes, but it's just like it's so much better to plot out the story if it was a series versus a movie. Because I mean, we had the 2 movies and they were not good.
Mm-hmm. But I've never read the books and I've never watched the movies.
The first movie wasn't super bad. I liked Logan Lerman as Percy. I'm not super upset with what they did with him. It's the second movie that really irritated me.
It's funny, we're supposed to be talking about Star Wars though.
I know. I still haven't said my 11. My 11 is Rise of Skywalker, and I gave it 2
Oh,
out of.
I didn't give it
Oh, go ahead. Give your rating.
I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Okay. Why did you give it 2 out of 5? Give me a negative and a positive.
It's one of those things that it's like I remember seeing it with you, and I remember we were joking about it like while we were watching it and when we left the theater.
Yes, I remember that vividly.
And then that's pretty much all I remember. So go ahead with your number 11.
My number 11 is Rise of Skywalker. I gave it 2 out of 5.
Wow.
I would have given it 0 out of 5, but
we have to get no matter what.
Yeah. And here's my positive. There's certain things of Rise of Skywalker that I liked. There's a lot that I didn't like. But one of the things I really enjoyed, and this is something I also was very frustrated with, is in the beginning of Rise of Skywalker, you had Rey have to deal with her anger, and she thinks that she killed Chewie. You remember that scene?
Yeah.
And right after that, you had Finn trying to make sure that she's okay, that she, he's like, I know who you are and everything. And she's just like, if I don't know who I am, how the hell do you know who you are, who I am? You know what I mean? And I like that. I really like that part of her. And then you had the whole, I could do an entire topic on why I hate Rise of Skywalker. And it's not with the characters. They made Poe into a really shitty version of Han Solo. They gave Finn the same plot they've given him the last 2 fucking movies. You had the plot contrivance that was, I want to take this stupid dagger. I'm just going to happen to stand on this mountainside that shows the Death Star remains, even though the Death Star blew up and we saw it explode and not retain anything. But yes, I'm going to cut that rant short. But I definitely, there's certain kernels of things I like on it. And then there's so much that I greatly dislike. There's so much. What is your number 10?
My number 10 is Attack of the Clones.
Okay, why?
It's one of those movies that I don't really go back and watch out of like the sequel trilogy.
Right?
No, prequel trilogy.
Prequel, yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's like I prefer watching Phantom Menace or Revenge of the Sith over this one.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Majority of the times when I put this movie on, I fast forward it all the way to the Jedis versus the robots.
Right at the very end where the Clone Wars begun has.
Yeah, because like that's a badass scene, with the monsters and all that.
Yes.
Where they're about to kill Obi-Wan and Anakin and Padme.
Yes.
And then like everything else is like I just fast forward. Like I don't like it's like my least favorite Star Wars movie.
Okay.
Out of out of the 9.
Right. Okay. How many
I give it a 2 out of 5.
Okay. Are you ready for my number 10?
What's your number 10?
Phantom Menace. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Phantom Menace is my least favorite prequel. Not the least favorite movie of the series, but it's my least favorite of the prequels.
Is it because of Jar Jar?
We don't talk about Jar Jar, but I don't like Jar Jar the character. What they did to Ahmet Best is ridiculous. I want to clearly state what they did to Jake Lloyd and Ahmed Best is fucking atrocious and it is horrible. The same thing they did with the lady that plays Rose, I forget her name, in Daisy Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
You can hate the character all you want. do not hate the actor or the actress. That's stupid. Because I mean, you know what happened with them, right?
Yeah, the fans attacked them.
Yeah, I'm a
They didn't like.
best almost killed himself, and Jake Lloyd has like schizophrenia or something now, and he has to live with his parents because he can't be by himself.
Well, he kind of went through a downward spiral after that movie
Yes.
because you just remember him from that movie with the Arnold Schwarzenegger with the toy. What was it? Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, I love Jingle All the Way though. That's such a stupid movie, but I fucking love it. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies.
Have we ever done Christmas list? I wonder if that's going to be on your list.
Yes, it will be. I can guarantee you that will be in my top 10. You would probably not be happy because there's a lot of Christmas movies that are super popular that I don't like. But this is that list. This is a different list. But
I know we're just shit in the show off topic on that.
But with Phantom Menace, the only redeeming factor that I genuinely have for this is the end. The Obi-Wan, yeah, the Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's really it. I just rewatched it last year, and it was just slow and boring, and I didn't really care for anyone. And the whole, Anakin's just like talking to Padme, and he's just like, "Are you an angel?" And I was just like, "Dude, you're like 10. She's like almost 20. You need to reel it in, boy. You need to roll them up."
So like and when they finally get together, what he's like almost 20 and she's like what over like in her 30s.
So when I think, at least if I remember, Anakin is 9 and Padme is supposed to be 13 or 14. And then in episode 2, Anakin's 19 and she is in her mid to late 20s.
Okay. I thought she was supposed to be older than that.
No, it's just there was a bit of I mean, at least thinking about it, like when I was 9, I wasn't super into like girlies and stuff like that. But I mean, uh, that's a school memory. But yeah, I just there's not a. I will say the pod racing scene is pretty cool in Phantom Menace.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of those two big ones, I don't really have it. And
Them getting robots.
I mean, it had some moments. It amuses me. And then I will say when like the Yoda scene when Yoda and Mace Windu were interrogating Anakin and stuff, I did enjoy that. It has caused a lot of contention with a mutual friend, but
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so what is your number 9?
The Last Jedi.
Okay, why? And how many stars?
Okay, so there's only one scene that I like out of this movie.
Okay.
And that's when Kylo Ren and Rey team up to take on the guards.
Right.
You know, the guy, because they, that was like my favorite scene of all time. But throughout the whole movie, when they're being chased on the ships,
Yes,
that dragged for me.
I get that.
But what kind of saved it is, when at the very end, when not Obi-Wan, Luke shows up.
Yeah.
And but it's not really him.
It's the force projection.
Yeah, so that kind of saved it a little bit. I give 2 out of 5.
Okay. Now,
okay,
my number 9 is the Clone Wars CGI movie.
Okay.
I kind of said why earlier. Like there's certain things I liked about it. We saw it in the movie theater. It gave us Ahsoka. It showed Anakin growing a little bit. It led us to the actual cartoon or the like 3D CG cartoon. Like there was a lot that I enjoyed about it. It was just it's very forgettable. It like outside of Ahsoka, it really doesn't do anything for Star Wars in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I give it a 2 out of 5.
Okay.
I don't really have anything, to say about it. It's just it was a fun little movie. We didn't know what to expect. It gave us some good memories. It gave us Ahsoka, and that's about it. I think that was also the first time Dave Filoni was put in charge of Star Wars. I think that was right when Dave Filoni started his career. And if you don't know who Dave Filoni is, he is now the creative control guy of Star Wars, I think.
Oh, so he's gonna end up destroying it.
He might save it.
We'll see it. We'll have to wait and see.
What is your number 8?
The Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
Okay, so we saw this at the theater together.
Yes,
Remember?
I do. And we literally, when it said the dead speak, Palpatine has somehow returned, me and you looked at each other and said, "What the actual fuck?"
Exactly. It's like because they brought him back. We thought he was dead this whole time. You know, because I thought it was going to be Snoke.
Yes.
They killed him in the last movie, The Last Jedi.
Right.
And then like that movie, like I'm trying to like really remember it that much. It's like I remember, you know, seeing certain scenes, but then it's like it's hard for me to like remember everything.
Well,
That movie. I don't know if it's because I was so disappointed with Last Jedi that I was just expecting this movie to be shit.
it's so I remember not liking Last Jedi. I actually had a lot of arguments with a friend at work about it because he said it wasn't his favorite, but he understood why they did it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember us going to see Rise of Skywalker, and I talked about this earlier, but like you have the dead speak, you have them suddenly them I'm trying not to rant, but also it's just like you have them suddenly having super Death Star lasers on a fleet of Star Destroyers that don't know the up and fucking down direction, that they need a signal somewhere that you can just blow up, and suddenly they go, oh, gotta go up, and crash right into the planet.
Mm-hmm.
You have
And I thought that was a ridiculous scene, you know, when they're all on the fighters.
yeah.
It's like I don't think you could walk on that good.
They're on they're on the Star Destroyer with the fucking the space horses or whatever.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
There,
And then I remember of us going there to watch the movie. Do you remember what happened?
which part?
No, before the movie even started.
No, what happened?
Okay, so you sat to those other guys that are having a cool conversation. I think you added to their conversation. Do you remember?
I don't know.
And then the lady I was sitting next to was crying even before the movie started.
I don't remember talking to people. I mean, I could have. It's a very strong plausibility.
Mm-hmm. But to be fair, that was opening night, though.
Yeah, it was. We were sitting in the very front, or weren't we?
The most I remember from watching that movie.
What?
That's the most thing I remember watching that movie was that interaction.
I mean, that shows you how good the movie is. It's God. Ugh. All right.
So I give it 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. Okay. What number are we on? We're on 8.
Yeah, so you're number 8.
Last Jedi.
Okay.
So I didn't like what they did with Luke at all to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And as I've watched it a couple times now and I thought about it, I have to agree that my friend was right. Luke did what his masters showed him. Because I mean,
Mhm.
Obi-Wan and Yoda fucking ran and hid for 19 years. So why wouldn't Luke do the exact same thing? Like, and I didn't necessarily like Rey's entire character arc during that thing. The one thing that I will fight tooth and nail and defend on was the fact that she was a nobody. I fucking loved that. I adored that piece, and it's so stupid that they fucking retconned it with Palpatine. But like I love the fact that she was a nobody, and just like the kid in that stupid whatever it was, like the place that Finn and Rose broke out of, the casino place, how that kid had the Force. It was like, that's cool, I like it. More people have the Force. It's not just restricted to, you know, the Skywalkers that we see. It was an interesting world building. But the whole, yeah, I was like, but then the casino scene, and then the fact that like the B plot of the movie is them fucking running out of gas was incredibly stupid.
Mm-hmm. That's what hurts the movie for me.
Yeah, I will say the last bit of it when they're on that snow planet or whatever, I like that. I like that entire ending. I don't have anything really negative to say. I know my friend didn't particularly care for Luke like kind of just brushing off the after he got shot with all those AT-ATs.
Mm-hmm. Being the Force Ghost.
Yeah, I actually I really think that Luke being the Force Ghost is probably the best way he could have handled that. And I gave it 2 out of 5. It would have been
Okay.
higher, but so much of the movie I didn't like. Like
Mm.
Poe being Poe was just like, oh, blah 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 blah, and then Leia slapping him, and she's like, you need to learn, you can't just go out and shoot and kill people. And then literally 30 seconds later, can't go out and shoot people. Granted, it's like, okay, cool. What is your number 7?
Okay, so I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this one.
I'm ready. Hit me.
Rogue One.
Wow. Okay.
I think it's because I had low expectations for it,
Uh-huh.
but I really enjoyed it.
Right.
I liked the ending with Darth Vader.
Yes.
Because I was not expecting Darth Vader to be in it.
Same. Those last 15 minutes literally like saved the movie for me.
Because I didn't even know that this took place during the original.
Yeah,
I thought it took place like during the newer movies.
No, this was in between 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't know that at the time because I wasn't really like reading the spoilers or what was it about or anything like that.
Right.
So and then you see Darth Vader, I'm like, holy shit!
And it wasn't
and then
just like
when they're on that planet and they're like, it's the stormtroopers that they're battling.
Yeah, scare.
And the planet is about to explode, and they just accept it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. When everyone died, I was like, oh wow. I
wasn't that.
I wasn't expecting that either, especially with this being like the second Disney movie. I expected it to be, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very happy because it wouldn't have been good if someone had lived.
Yeah. Because then you were like, okay, what happens to them now?
Yeah.
How come we didn't see them heard of them like in the other movies?
Yeah, that's the problem when you have to go back and like when you retcon stuff, because it's just like you added a new character, now you have to figure out what the fuck happened to them in the timeline.
That's why they mostly kill off the characters that they add.
Yeah, which I'm cool with.
Mm-hmm. I give it a 4 out of 5.
Wow. Okay. My number 7 is Attack of the Clones. I liked the Obi-Wan subplot. I really fucking love it. It kills me rewatching it, and him just landing on Kamino, and the Kaminoans are just like, yes, your clone army is almost ready, and he's just like, yes, my clone what? Like, I just love his reaction. He's just like, oh no. I excluding the really bad, like, nothing against Natalie Portman and Hayden Christensen, I'm sure they did their best, but the love stuff between those two characters was, whew, that was rough. That was some cringe is what that was.
Yeah.
But like you said, the ending with the gladiatorial fights, and then Yoda fucking becoming a badass, and we're just like, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain things I liked about it. There's a lot that I didn't like about it. I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it definitely had a room for improvement opportunities, but like overall, I enjoyed 2 over 2 a lot more, because I recently just rewatched these with the lady friend because she'd never seen them, so I was able to convince her to watch all of the Star Wars movies except Solo. I said, you can watch that by yourself. I ain't watching that shit.
Yeah, I seen like pretty much the newer movies with my girlfriend. I haven't seen the older ones with her.
Okay, what is your 6?
Did you give Attack of the Clones?
Yeah, I said 3 out of 5.
Oh, sorry, I probably didn't hear that part.
We probably got sidetracked a lot, so.
Okay, my number 6 is The Empire Strikes Back.
Wow, that's gonna piss off a lot of people. Okay.
I know, it's my least favorite movie going back to the original trilogy.
Okay.
It's like, I like the Darth Vader and the Luke thing. It's like, I'm your father. And when Han Solo turns into the kryptonite.
Yes.
But other than that, that's all I really remember of that movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's like Like the other two is like I remember more scenes.
Wow. Okay. Well, uh, uh, Empire Strikes Back is highly regarded as the best Star Wars movie in the series. So
I kind of want to say like the like I want to say the first and the third are, in my opinion.
yeah, I mean, I so when I get to when I get there, I have some discussions I'll bring up. So
All right, so but I gave it a 3 out of 5.
wow. Okay, that's rough. I want to say that I'm in no way connected to this. Do not kill me over this man's opinion. Um, my number 6 is going to be Force Awakens because
Okay,
I remember when it came out when they first announced it. I mean, Force Awakens is more or less just a modern retelling of A New Hope, and I'm all for that. The only reason why this isn't higher is because of the memories associated. Because we worked at the movie theater when this came out,
mm-hmm.
and let me tell you, working Christmas of when this movie came out was the fucking worst. This will go more into a different topic, but I worked closing Christmas. We didn't leave till almost 6 in the fucking morning.
They didn't close the theater that day.
Yeah, like we almost worked till 6 in the morning because we had the opening crew come in and help us.
Mm-hmm.
That was horrible. And then I had to shift right the next day too, but like working Christmas was the worst.
Mm-hmm. Oh, when we get to that topic, oh my god, I got like a whole page.
I give it a 3 out of 5. Would be higher, and is my second favorite of the Disney owned series. My number 5 will be my favorite, but what's your number 5?
Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, interesting. I'm just gonna preface this. I have never once known anyone that put Revenge of the Sith above Empire Strikes Back. You are the first person that I know that puts Revenge higher.
Well, it's like because it's why Anakin turns into Darth Vader.
Yeah.
For me, like I like it when at the end, where he becomes they pop him up on that table and he's wearing the Darth Vader outfit.
Yeah. That was actually Hayden Christensen.
The fight between him and Obi. I thought that was probably one of the best Star Wars fights ever.
Oh yeah, easy.
I wish they would have shown them killing more of the Jedis, though.
I will say, if I know you're not super into reading, but the book does so much more than the movie ever did. And the worst part is, did you get Revenge of the Sith on DVD and everything?
Yes, I did.
There were so many cutscenes that they've ripped out that would have been so much better.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much that they cut.
The thing that hurts it for me is the relationship between him and Padme.
Panda Mama or Panda Bear.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's like I feel like their relationship kept getting worse.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's like I don't know if it was the script problem or they just didn't have the chemistry with each other.
I feel like
it's like I feel it's like one of those movies that's like you can't believe that they're in a relationship kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, what's funny is you had Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, who played Leia and Luke. Their relationship was more chemistry, and they're siblings.
Yes. And I'm trying to think what else I liked about that movie. I didn't like the. I think my favorite scene is when Anakin kills the younglings. I just really though. Where he's like, "What are we gonna do, Master Skywalker?"
And he just turned on his lightsaber.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of memes where it's just like, when Obi-Wan gives Luke Anakin's lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of memes where it's just like, Luke, your father wanted you to have it. The youngling Slayer 5000.
Like this is kind of off topic, but the Robot Chicken, they did a sketch where he's doing it, but he's imagining that they're sunflowers.
Yes, I remember that bit.
And then Padme walks in and is like, "Oh, there's something for you on the table," and you just hear her scream.
I miss the old Robot Chicken sketches like that.
Yeah, that was great.
Um,
But overall, I give it a 3 out of 5.
okay, interesting.
I know a lot of people are gonna be pissed at me for that,
Uh,
but Revenge of the Sith over The Empire Strikes Back.
yeah, that's interesting. I've never heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
My number 5 is Rogue One. I've really loved Rogue One. It is easily my favorite, like, Star Wars movie that since Disney has owned it. Like, I was very surprised with a lot of it. I didn't particularly care for the characters at first, and then by the end, I really liked it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Darth Vader's coming in and like making a bunch of those jokes. Don't choke on your aspirations and stuff like that. I could have done without that, but like the end was really good, and the way that they're able to portray Peter Cushing, who died in 1994, and Carrie Fisher was a little creepy, but they did really well. I think they handled that pretty good. I mean, if you haven't seen Rogue One, strong recommend. The best thing that Disney has produced Star Wars related, excluding the TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
I give it a 4 out of 5.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. The only reason why I wouldn't give it this higher is, like I said, the Darth Vader puns there throughout the middle. So the beginning's kind of bumpy. And the CGI that they did for the recreating the dead people were kind of creepy, Uncanny Valley like. But what's your number 4?
The Force Awakens.
Okay, you put yours too higher than mine.
So it's like, I know it's pretty much the same movie as the original.
Yeah.
Different characters.
Yes.
But I like the introduction of Kylo Ren.
Ugh.
But I didn't like that when they, after the other movies, that's when I kind of stopped liking them, because, you know, when they took off the helmet.
Yes. And then
I do like talking to Darth Vader's helmet with his head.
Yeah.
I love that scene.
That's a good part. Did you hear what go on, sorry.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I was shocked when they killed off Han Solo in it. I remember when we were in the theater watching it, everybody was just like quiet.
Yes.
It was like you couldn't hear a pin drop.
Do you remember watching The Force Awakens in the theaters?
Yeah.
Do you remember what happened?
Which one? Because I've seen it like 3 times.
So what it was?
And I saw it with you.
Huh?
I saw it with you.
Yeah.
I saw it with my girlfriend.
Yep.
And I saw it with my parents.
So when we saw it, at least me and you saw it, it was me, you, a mutual friend from work, and then his girlfriend and his now wife. And we got the tickets. It was to the Disney theater. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, we could. Oh yeah, like we had to be like searched.
Yes, that, and so we get in there, we get our seats, everyone's happy. Then they give us 3D glasses. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, because it was in that show was 3D,
Yes.
but we didn't have tickets.
Yes, and then when we got in there and we sat down, we had the 3D glasses. That was when both of us realized I can't see 3D. So you immediately turned to me. You're just like, "Are you good?" I was like, well, "I guess we'll find out."
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, the very first time I saw Force Awakens was in 3D, and for anyone that doesn't know, I have one eye, so I don't see 3D. So it was definitely an interesting experience.
And as for me, like I don't have good vision either.
Yeah.
Like I can't really handle 3D that well. Like I could see it, but I don't like it.
This is completely off topic, but what was your first 3D movie? Do you remember?
You know, the funniest conversation. I was working with because I still work in the theater industry, and one of my last shifts I was working with this one girl, and she's like, "Do you remember 3D?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Do you remember when they used to be red and blue glasses?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, that was like back in the day."
Yeah, I remember my first 3D movie.
I'm still trying to remember mine.
You want to know what mine was?
What?
Spy Kids 3D.
That might have been mine too.
Yeah, mine was Spy Kids 3D. And we're just like, maybe we can see it. And I went in there and I got super sick. I was like, so 3D ain't for me, Chief. And then when we did this one and it's the black glasses now, I was like, well, maybe it will be a little bit better. It was not. It didn't make me sick or anything. I could actually see it normally, but like, and it was okay. So that's why when the whole everything was trying to be rushed to 3D, I was like, this is gonna suck for me. But so you said Force Awakens.
I give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Okay. My number 4 is Return of the Jedi. Remember watching this a lot more than Empire, but rewatching it recently, some of the Ewok stuff was kind of rough. I wasn't super thrilled with the Ewok stuff. And I mean, because of the Ewoks, we got the Porgs from Last Jedi. But like the whole, so I did a lot of I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I read a bunch of like the books and stuff like that and all that nonsense. And I do like I love reading like the behind the scenes stuff. So when Return of the Jedi was being made, and you guys can fact check me. I like, this is what I remember. I could be remembering it wrong. So when in Empire Strikes Back, when Luke goes to save Han and Leia and them, and Yoda's like, there is another person. Originally, there was supposed to be another character introduced, but at the time that they were shooting Return of the Jedi, George Lucas was going through a really bad divorce, and he was exhausted from making the movies. So instead of introducing a very important character for the plot at the very end, he just made it Leia. He talked with the scriptwriter that he was working with, and they just made it Leia. That's why suddenly it was kind of weird. Like, it's kind of a weird thing, but I think a lot of the stuff that they decided to do at the very end, because everyone was kind of burnt out on the movies, and they weren't even sure if they could get Harrison Ford back. So I really like what they did, but there was some stuff that was kind of meh, mostly the Ewok stuff. But I mean, it was funny. But I give Return of the Jedi 4 out of 5.
Okay.
There's not a whole lot negative to say outside of Ewoks, but I mean, I don't mind them as much as I used to.
They grew on you.
Yes. Although I will say that I love the meme that there's a bunch of memes where it's just like all parents understand why Yoda just croaks when Luke keeps asking him questions. That made me laugh really hard. I'll have to find that meme and send it to you.
Okay.
But what's your number 3? We're in the top 3.
Okay, so I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this one.
I'm ready. Hit me.
The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be top 3, but here we are. That's interesting.
Well, okay, so it was like my first Star Wars movie watching in the theater. I think that's why.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it was a movie that I was dying to see that year. And I loved the pod racing scene.
It's a good scene. Did you ever play the game?
No, I've never played the game. I've seen people play it.
We'll have to play.
But I've never.
We'll have to try and play it.
I played to it is the Lego Star Wars part.
Okay.
And I love Darth Maul. He's like one of my favorite Star Wars villains. I just don't like that, he got cut in half in the first movie.
And then he comes back in the cartoons.
Yeah, which I didn't see.
Yeah, I was just like, the only way you would have known that is if you would have watched it.
And when he fights Obi-Wan and
Qui-Gon.
Yeah. That scene, it made the whole movie worth it. I think I've seen that movie about 3 times too.
Usually when I say what is the first theme that pops in your head when you talk Star Wars, either the main theme, the Force theme, or the Duel of Fates. Those are like usually the first 3 answers I get.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then I'll get the binary sunset theme. But
I do hate Jar Jar.
Yeah.
I give this movie a 4 out of 5. If Jar Jar wasn't in it, it'll probably be a 5 out of 5.
Okay.
Because he's so stupid in it.
It wasn't even like funny stupid either. I remember not laughing when I was 9. Like, I was the target demographic when this movie came out. I was 8.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were the same age.
Yeah, we were like, and we're just like, this movie sucks.
And I don't hate
The actor.
Anakin.
Oh, Anakin.
Yeah, I know a lot of people hate him for this movie, but I didn't hate him. He didn't bother.
I remember not liking it when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
but as I've gotten older, I think the way that Jake Lloyd played him was good. I think it was nothing against,
It was probably the script.
yeah. Also, I'm just that,
And like that scene earlier with him and Padme, that was kind of weird.
yeah. But I mean, like when it comes to Anakin, me and another friend have gotten into a lot of arguments over him. But it's just like Anakin was 9 and a slave. Like, of course, his
Yep.
priorities are going to be kind of skewed. And that's why the Jedi didn't want him in the beginning. Was they're just like he's too old and he has way too much baggage.
Yep. And look what happened.
Yeah, and then Qui-Gon dies, and Obi-Wan's just like, I don't really give 2 shits what you think. And everyone's just like, guess we gotta deal with this now. And then everyone dies. My number 3 is Revenge of the Sith. It is easily one of the Star Wars movies that I will actively go after and rewatch. I mean, sometimes I'll jump around and watch everything because there's like the beginnings, the opening scene with the space battle above Coruscant. Oh, I love that scene so much. The fight with Dooku is okay-ish, and then Anakin finding out that he's going to be a papa was kind of meh. And then, do you remember the video game, the Episode 3 game?
Didn't we play it?
Yeah, we played it.
Was it on the original Xbox?
Yes, sir. It goes through that, and like there's some side parts that you can do where when Anakin goes evil, you actually fight some of the Jedi in the Jedi Temple, and then there's a little mini, like after you beat the game, there's a mission where you play as Anakin fighting Obi-Wan, and you can actually kill Obi-Wan and then Palpatine and take over the galaxy.
Interesting.
You don't
I think I remember playing at your house.
I streamed it. I wanted to put it up on YouTube, but because of the music, I'm like, this is probably gonna get copyrighted to hell, so I never did.
And you couldn't turn the music off.
It was too late, and I mean, maybe I could probably do another one, just a let's play version of it, but trying to I do YouTube, so it's just like trying to do music, like finding the music that fits the mood is such a pain in the ass. is why I decided not to become like a video editor. It's just because trying to find the right music and stuff is just so much pain. But I give Revenge of the Sith 4 out of 5. It would be higher. There's just certain things that I definitely
it drops it.
Yeah, there's definitely certain things that I didn't particularly care for. But overall, I think it's my favorite of the prequels. And it's definitely watching this goes a little more back than I should, but watching Obi-Wan and Anakin fight, that wasn't sped up, by the way. That was Hayden Christensen and Ian McGregor's actual speed. Like that. So like when you think it was sped up in post, that was not post. That was just them actually. They trained for like 8 months for that one scene.
Luckily, they didn't get hurt doing that.
Oh, there was a lot of injuries, but
like seriously hurt.
Oh yes, but I love watching that scene. What is your number 2?
Return of the Jedi.
All right.
So with this one, it's like I love the Ewoks battling the stormtroopers.
Yes.
I love when the whole Darth Vader becoming good again.
Yes.
Saving Luke from Palpatine, getting shocked and then throwing him off that thing.
Yes.
And then, okay, if I need to stop, just tell me to stop.
Okay.
I love Princess Leia's outfit in the beginning of the movie.
Okay. I mean, the slave outfit is very, it's definitely, we were around that age, so we're just like, oh.
And then I like how people think that that 3PO is a god.
Yes, that amuses me.
And Luke's making him go up in the chair.
Yes, that amuses.
With the force.
I like that. I there's just so much that I liked about that.
Like it's one of like my favorite Star Wars movies.
I can agree with that.
Like that one, I'll go back and watch 100 times,
Oh my god.
or just watch things that I love.
Yes.
I give it a 5 out of 5.
Okay. You want to know what my number 2 is?
What's your number 2?
Empire Strikes Back. So when it comes to Empire Strikes Back, I didn't like it that much when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I've appreciated it more. It's better plot wise, it's better effects, it's better like camera work, it's better music. It's like overall it's better than episode 4. It's a more perfect movie. A lot of people regard it as the best movie of the series. What brings it down for me is when I liked certain things of 4 over 5. I'll say more of that as my number 1, because I think we both know what our number 1s are at this point, because there's only one movie left. But
it's funny that you and I agree on the first and last.
yes, I think collectively most people agree Solo or Rise of Skywalker is the worst movie. Although I would probably, some people don't even include the Clone Wars. So
yeah, so like if we didn't include the Clone Wars, it'd be a different list.
Yes, but I mean, I get it. What about so Empire Strikes Back for me, 5 out of 5. Easy, no hesitation. 5 out of 5. Great movie. It's also one of my favorite sequels. Like most people will agree that one, like Terminator 2 and Aliens, is superior than the first one. But I disagree with the Star Wars one, and I've had many arguments over it. But I mean, like you said earlier, you had the whole Darth Vader's your papa, which I love. Mark Hamill telling that story. Have you seen that one?
I might have. There's so much Star Wars things I've seen.
So Mark Hamill was talking on the Graham Norton show, and he was just like, the director pulled me aside and said, he handed me a piece of paper that said Darth Vader is Luke's father, and Irvin Kershner, who was the director, said 3 people know this. I know it, Lucas knows it, and now you know it. So if anything gets leaked, we know it was you. And I was like, ooh, that's terrifying. And then so I think we both know, what is your number 1?
A New Hope.
Yep. And what?
Well, it was originally Star Wars, and then they added New Hope.
Yes.
I love the opening scene, with Darth Vader and Leia trying to escape with the information, and they put in R2-D2.
Yeah.
I love that scene. I like the who shot first.
Oh.
I love watching people debate that.
It was Han Solo shot first. I am a firm.
But I still like people arguing about it online.
Yeah.
To this day. I like the battle between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. Even though a lot of people I asked and they said that that's like their least favorite battle.
I love it. I love the original battles.
I know, me too. Like that was like one of my favorites, but I think a lot of people think because he's old and they think that he's gonna be like slow and shit.
Yeah, which I mean I get.
And I like the when they're trying to blow up the Death Star.
Yeah.
And they blow up the Death Star, with like
Luke, your targeting computer's off.
Yeah. So I couldn't think for a second.
It's okay. God only knows how many times I've watched that movie. Like I could pretty much quote that entire movie word for word.
I know, I've seen it a bunch of times too. I think this is like if I do a marathon, there's movies that I'll skip and there's movies that I won't skip, and this one I never skip on.
Same, 100%. Even when I see it on TV, because it's on TNT a lot.
Yep.
I will watch the shit out of this movie.
I give 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, favorite movie, A New Hope, 5 out of 5, easy money. I will go back and rewatch this movie explicitly. Like I love there's just something about it. Maybe it was because I was 7 when I saw this. Like I vividly remember sitting out in the living room and watching this.
I do remember watching this and falling off the couch when he says, "Let the Wookiee win."
Let the Wookiee win, I do. But yeah, that easy. That's an easy W for me. It's to be honest with you, Force A New Hope has been my favorite movie of all time since I was 7. Like when people ask me
Wow.
my favorite movie, A New Hope has been my favorite movie.
Hmm.
I have a poster of it sitting right in front of me, actually.
Yep,
So
I've seen it.
yeah, I mean, it's moved a couple times, but it's hasn't left my room. But yeah, that's the list. Pitchforks and torches to Danny's house any day, please, for him being a blasphemous Empire Strikes Back lower on the list, man.
Hey, it's not like I put it like the last of the list.
I know, but
I think my list is decent
uh-huh.
at best.
You put Attack of the Clones and you put a Phantom Menace in your top 3. Like
I think it's because it was the first Star Wars movie I seen. I
disgusting.
think,
Disgusting, sir.
and like
Yeah.
because I think that's why
I'm just
it was
I'm just
Star
giving
Wars.
you I'm just giving you shit, man. I don't care. Like the way that I look at it is, even if you put Phantom Menace as number 1, that's fine with me. I don't agree with it. I'm gonna give you shit about it, but like I'm just happy that we can rate Star Wars movies. Like I'm happy that there's there's the Star Wars fandom is still there, and it's something that if you go online and talk to, it is very toxic. Like, holy moly, Star Wars is one of the worst fandoms to be a part of, and
Yep.
it makes me so sad because it's been such a big part of my life. So, like, being able to just shoot the shit and not mean anything, like, it's not like me and you are gonna spend the next 2.5 hours arguing over the intricacies of a movie. It's just like
Yep.
I'm gonna give you shit that you put Phantom Menace in your top 3, and you're gonna give me shit that I gave Empire Strikes Back higher rating than almost A New Hope. Like, it, or you'll just be like, hey, what do you think of Rise of Skywalker? And then you're gonna get a 30-minute rant again.
But I still think it's awesome that you and I agree the number 1 and number 12.
Yeah, I love it. It makes me happy.
Yep.
But I think that's about wraps it up. But thank you so much for joining us on this adventure. Who knows what's gonna be next? Hopefully this will be easier than the last one. We're still working on it. I won't say
Yep.
when this was recorded. This is going to be for your imagination. You probably can pinpoint exactly when we started and when we'll end. So thank you so much for watching. Take care, or listening, I guess, nowadays. Join us on whatever this website's going to be: Spotify, YouTube, both. Apple. I don't. I guess I could look into Apple, but I think I said that last time too.
I think so too.
But-
I think you said that on the episode.
Yes, probably. So hopefully you enjoy. Dan, you want to end us? You want to count us out?
Later, enjoy, like, subscribe. Everybody does that, so I guess I gotta do that too.
Yeah.